Hey all. Okay, so this is what we're starting with. This is the Budweiser Hockey Light. So how big is it? I'll put my hand on it. I'm trying to stay back with the video, but this thing's actually larger than things I usually record. So what's the idea behind this? Well, first of all, you've got a potentiometer for what's supposed to be a volume. And on the back, we have a button and a slot and a sticker. Cast metal base, cast metal stand, cast metal cage, plastic, red. Now, go back, you can see my other video called French or German. You can actually hear what it sounds like. So what we're going to do here with this thing is we're going to take this thing. There's 4 D batteries that go into the base of this to power it all. And there's light bars inside with a whole bunch of red lights. And so when it goes off, you could push the button and it goes off and the red lights go around. There's a speaker inside and it makes this big loud wah wah sound. So what we're going to do with it is we're going to take this, as it turns out, once you take it apart, in this area right here, so there's a circuit board right about there, and then you got this SD slot, which is actually the lowest point of this whole array. This is also the bottom of this little bit, and then inside is just a bit of a speaker poking up. So most of this is just all free space right inside, and you can see it's fairly large. I don't even know what I'm pointing at. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick some stuff in there. First of all, we have this. Let's have a look at that. So this is called the Arduino. You kind of have to assemble it. But inside there is the microcontroller and just a few little, over here is the microcontroller, a few little add-on parts, and a tiny little circuit board to build it all together, and you can see what it looks like there. The overall size of it, we'll just squeeze this out. That's the overall size of the entire microcontroller, will be that. So I will mount that onto a piece of perf board. I have a whole variety of choices to make. Of course, anything I choose will just be cut down a bit. Oh, I got that one. I got the one I just dropped on the floor, and I have a whole variety of others that I'm going to use. So this is the whole thing, and then you build the components on top of the circuit board, and that whole thing just attaches right to the chip. And boom, you got an Arduino in a can. So it'll be attached to one of these circuit boards, which will be cut to size, and then attached on the inside of the case here. So this is the microcontroller where all the fun will happen. I'm just going to put that off to the side. There's all the bits and bobs. But the most interesting thing that we're going to do with this is, where is it? Is this little bit right here. You can see how small that is? That's my hand. It's got a whole bunch of pins on it, 20 pins. So we're going to stick this also. I have to pick up a couple of new perf boards for the tiny little 2mm spacing and a couple of wire that'll fit. So, but look at that, eh? That looks so ridiculously, where'd it go? That looks so ridiculously complicated to use. But you know what? It's really not, because you actually, out of all 20 of those, you only need 4 pins. Power, ground, transmit, and receive to the microcontroller, and that's it. You're a done deal. It's so cool. And so yeah, where's the microcontroller? There's the microcontroller sitting on this little thing. It's what is it? It's the Amiga. Zoom. Hang on, let's see if I can get this into zoom. Okay. Awesome. I'm not breathing while I'm trying to get this thing to zoom in, or focus, I mean. Too close, too bright. Come on. There we go. Try it again. I really wish you'd focus. Okay, so there we go. I guess that's about as good as I'm going to get. You can just pause that and blow it up, I guess. And then, so I need 4 pins out of that. 3.3 volt on this. All the buttons inside there are 3 volt. So what I'm going to do now This is just so it's a prototyping that I'm going to do in order to build this out, rather than just sticking things in there. So this is what's called the backpack. This is sort of like the breadboard for the Arduino. It just makes things a little easier to prototype with until you build your final product. So the whole Arduino here actually just plugs right into basically a socket here. And so you still have a tiny little miniature, but you got a power socket and all of that. I'm not going to need that once it's all built into there. But here's the full size Arduino Demi-Lenovo. These are, I think, like the originals or maybe the second ones they come up with. They're up to Unos now and several variations between this and there. But I've had a couple of these for a very long time, and I've used them for a whole variety of projects. And you can see that's it right there. It's the same chip. But we're going to do the whole thing just on its own. Oops. If I don't fry it by just doing that with it. And then here, so you're wondering, well, how the hell do you program it? Okay, so here is the FTDI USB. This is not actually attached, this is not actually, the header is not actually attached on there, so they give you a choice. But this is the FTDI unit. It's got a micro USB on there. So this is what you can use to actually just attach it. You can see there's a set of headers. I got to point my camera into things on the Arduino, and one of the things about it is you got the set of headers pointing right out the top, and that's actually specifically designed with this in mind together as a mate. You just plug that right on there. You just plug this right on there, and you've got your USB connector. So for programming and whatever you want, and otherwise you just pop it right off and reboot, and yeah. So, and this is the full size one that I'm going to be using. So there's a full size Arduino Demi-Lenovo. Let's focus. There we go. And the Wi-Fi unit, the FTDI USB, and the chip. What else? No, that's it. Okay. So we're going to take this light apart, and then we're going to just do this whole thing step by step. Bye-bye.